This technique will demonstrate a high velocity end range anterior to posterior force directed at the acetabulo-femoral joint through the long axis of the femur, positioned in 90 degrees of flexion and slightly adducted, performed in supine. To begin, the patient will lie supine on the table near the edge. The therapist will stand next to the side they intend to treat. A rolled up or folded towel will be placed under the patient's sacrum. The therapist flexes the patient's acetabulo-femoral joint to 90 degrees of flexion with slight adduction and cradles the patient's thigh and knee with his arms. Using his body, the physical therapist imparts an anterior to posterior force through the long axis of the femur in an attempt to move into the restriction barrier at the posterior or posterior lateral acetabulo-femoral joint capsule. Once the restriction barrier is reached, the physical therapist induces a high velocity, low amplitude, anterior to posterior thrust. This technique can be progressed or modified by adding varying degrees of flexion, adduction, and/or internal or external rotation. We'll now demonstrate this technique in its entirety.